Hey there, and welcome to Code Academy. My name is Galina, and I'm a developer from New York. Today, we'll be covering the Olivia Woodruff Portfolio Freeform project, part of the Learn CSS course. Now, before we get started, let's take a look at some of the concepts we'll be working with today. To complete this project, you'll need to be familiar with selecting HTML elements by tag and class, setting the background image and color, and aligning and styling text. In this project, you'll use your knowledge of CSS visual rules to create rule sets and improve the appearance of a photography portfolio site. Now here on the right, we can see the portfolio page that we will be styling using CSS. All right, now let's jump right into step 1. Look over index.html to review the different HTML elements you have to work with. Then navigate to style.css. Let's take a look at our index.html file. And here we see all of the contents and structure of our portfolio page. All right, then we want to start by making the header section stand out a bit more. Select the header element and make its background color cornflower blue by using the background color property. So our header element is declared here on line 10. It is a class, so in style.css we're going to be using a .header to select the header class, and in the curly braces we want to change the background color. So let's use the background color property to cornflower blue. Perfect, now we're done with step 1 and let's move on to step 2. Now we want to change how the text is aligned in the top header section. In your header rule set, align the text in the center using the text align property. So let's use the text align property followed by center. Now let's save and let's take a look at the changes in our page. So we've centered the header and we've also added the background color cornflower blue. All right, now let's check off step 2 and on to step 3. Next, we want to use CSS to make the paragraph below Olivia's name have a larger text size. In style.css, select the About Me element and set its font size property to 20 pixels. So let's select the About Me element and set its font size to be 20 pixels. Now let's save. And we notice that our About Me section that includes the paragraph has a larger text size now. All right, now let's check off step 3 and on to step 4. The About Me paragraph looks a little dark against the light blue background. Maybe it would look nice if it blended more with the background. Within the About Me selector, use the opacity property to make it 50% transparent. So let's use our opacity property, and we're going to convert 50% to a decimal. Use 0.5. Now let's save. And we can now see the text to be a little bit more blended with the background. All right, now we're done with step 4 and let's move on to step 5. In the project section, make the section titles bold. Select the title elements and add a font weight property to make their text bold. Let's take a look at our HTML file and what this class targets. So we're going to be styling web development, design projects, and that looks like it. So let's navigate back to our CSS file and set the font weight property to be bold. Now let's save and take a look at the changes in our browser. Perfect. So here we have web development projects and design projects, which are both bold. Now let's move on to step 6. Change the main title color so that it matches the background color more nicely. Set the color for H1 elements to azure. So we're targeting our H1 elements, and we want to style them and give them a color of azure. Now let's take a look in our HTML file what our H1 elements are. So we have Olivia Woodruff, as well as and it looks like that's it. So let's save and take a look at Olivia Woodruff. Perfect, and it was set to azure. Let's check off step 6 and on to step 7. Instead of the page being in the default Times font, change the font of the entire page. Select the body element and make the font family of the page Georgia. So we're changing the font of the entire page to be Georgia. Beautiful. Let's check off step 7 and move on to step 8. Finally, let's make the background of the page more interesting. Within the body selector, set the background image property to this URL. We have background image. Just going to add some room here. And I want to set it to the following URL. So I'm going to copy, use the URL keyword, and paste the link inside of the parentheses within quotes. We get our semicolon, save, and here we see a different background on our web page. We can see circles and some other shapes. Awesome. Now let's take a look at step 9. Great work! Feel free to keep coding and edit the visual rules to personalize the site's appearance. And with that, we've completed the Olivia Woodruff portfolio project, and I hope this walkthrough was helpful. And feel free to edit the visual rules in any way that you would like. I will see you next time, and happy coding!